when you look at players that have their left hand lower, left hand low we call it, what they're trying to do once again is lead the club with their lead arm. They're not trying to push it. That's why they've gone this way, because their right hand is getting them to flip too much. So by putting their left out in front, it stops their right hand from taking over. Look at, they've got this left arm now, it's way out in front. A lot of them even have it bowed a little bit trying to do this. One of the best putters I ever saw was Morgan Pressel. When she won the National Amateur, I'm telling you, that girl could flat out putt. But I think her confidence has waned a little bit since she's gotten out there. But when Morgan is on, she just lights it up. Very aggressive. That's always going to get her in trouble, but we talked about 8 of the top 10 putters, consensus-wise, in the history of the game were aggressive putters. Morgan is probably closer to being like Arnold Palmer than Arnold Palmer was. She just goes for it, has no fear. Well, she's one of those people who comes along once every 100 years that has the mindset to just go do it. Like the Nike swoosh, just do it, you got one on your hat. You got one on your hat. What a great idea. Just do it. Well, that's what good players, that's what natural players do. I mean, you think about it. You watched the Masters last weekend. Who other than Phil Mickelson would have tried to hit it between those trees, out of the pine straw, and worry about not going in the creek? He just did it. So, oh, this is what I'm going to do. Don't tell me to do anything else. This is what I'm going to do. Boom. Cleared it by what, 6 feet? No problem. Could have lost the whole tournament right there. But he wasn't thinking about that. He was thinking about just doing it. That's the way champions are. So, there's lots of putting style. But when you line up with your hands behind the ball, that's an issue. Your hands are going to bottom out too soon, the putter, and it's going to come up and you might be seeing a lot of that bouncing going on. If your hands are too far ahead, if you push too far ahead, now you will come down too steep into the back of the ball and that will bounce it up. So you can get those bouncies either way, really. But what you're trying to do is find a way to lead the club through the ball so that you catch it at the bottom of the arc. And if you look at my putter, and I'm sure yours are all the same way, I try to wear that spot out right underneath that line. I spend a lot of time on that chalk line. There's another drill I'd like to show you, and again, I use this with Bruce Fleischer an awful lot because he was struggling when I first caught up with him, and he was known as one of the best putters out there, and all of a sudden he had no feel for it, and especially from 6, 8, 10 feet. One of the drills that we did was I put the chalk line down and I put him into a drill that I love to use, and I do it a lot myself. I call it the rake drill. This drill stops you from taking too big a stroke. It teaches you a smooth acceleration and shows you how to keep the club square through the ball at impact. I put myself down here, I get the club and I have it touching the ball. And then from here, I lead it through. And I try to go right down the chalk line. At first, if you feel like you're whiffing it, it'll look like this. You have no power. And it's directly attributed to the fact that you're pushing this way. There is no power when you do that. You must lead the club through the ball to the target. And going down that chalk line, making it roll end over end with that rake drill is a tremendous help to you. After you do that drill, for the first 36 hours, no, for the first 5 minutes, let's say, okay? I know, Michael, you were ready to practice all 36 hours, weren't you? Okay, after you do that drill, then go and try to hit the shot with a short, smooth, accelerating stroke. You will find so much more power in your stroke. If you do that, you have no idea. If you're one of those people that takes too big a swing and then slows down and wonder why you push it right or pull it left, that drill will help you tremendously. I know in 3 days we turned Bruce around from going from a 76 the first round up at Dearborn in the Senior Player Championship that year to shooting 67, 5 birdies, no bogeys, and 2 beautiful putts to save par in his last round. All of a sudden, he went on a tear and started winning $70,000 a week the rest of the year. Not bad. 3 days earlier, he's telling me, you know, Glenn, I've had a great run. I think I'm tired. I should quit this game. Yeah, become a truck driver, I know. But Bruce went on to win 2 events after that. But I'm telling you, that drill, that rake drill, going down the line with your normal stroke, builds efficiency into your stroke. Anybody got any questions about that? Well, I appreciate you all coming out today. If there's something we ever want to talk about on putting, be my guest. Be more than happy to help you out. Thanks again.
Thanks, man.
Film at 11.